and drinking was the way to go. You know, at this time, before I ended up on the streets of Soledad, my mom, my dad, you know, I was like an army brat going in and out of states. You know what I mean? My mom and dad was in Hawaii. I ended up on the streets of Soledad. I started using, smoked myself right out of college, ended up on the streets of Soledad. Chinatown. Pimps, players, hustles, needles, drugs, everything. You know, I was homeless. That's what was happening. My parents thought I was still going to Hartnell College, but I was homeless. I was using, and I was using to support my habit. I was a crack smoker. I was smoking crack. You know what I mean? Back pockets touching, thinking I was looking cute, but I was looking disgusted. You know what I mean? But I thought I still had game. How many people here got game? Y'all think y'all got game? Huh? The game is to be sold but not told? Huh? But then when you look at somebody, you know what the game does to you. You know, they uneducate you. It leaves you just like this. That's me in the background. See, look at the chain. And you can't even tell that's me. I was on crack back then. So, let me tell you what happened. I met a lady, right? She's straight out of prison. She had 3 kids by me. We had a dream. We stayed in a motel. All my kids grew up in a motel, and we thought we can smoke crack and sell crack to survive, right? But you know what happened? My woman left me. I ended up with 3 kids, learning how to cook, clean, and braid real quick. I was so good at this, I had the bus coming up to the motel to pick up my children to take them to school. Then again, my mom and dad didn't know I had flunked out of college and ended up on the streets of being homeless. I was good at what I did. I was so good, I would make enough money to go to a parent teachers conference with brand new clothes on because I know I'm going to have these clothes on for the rest of the week, huh? That's how good I thought I had it. But it was just bad choices. I came from a good family. My family taught me from right and wrong. My family showed me how to make choices. But it was the choices I made that got me to right there. She's showing you a picture of my mom. I went to my mom didn't know I was on drugs. My mom had cancer. I flew out to Texas to see my mom, had brand new clothes on and everything. My mom died in my arms. Once my mom died in my arms, I went on a rampage. And when I've been on a rampage, I ended up with 9 years, 8 months in prison. First time I ever been to prison. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. You know, a lot of people call God, but God already made that plan. He already know where you're going. So at the whole time, you know, like one time everybody says, God, oh God, when something happens, don't worry about it, because that might be part of your plan. I went to prison, and I started making right choices in prison. Is that ironic? I started making right choices in prison. That's what happened. I started getting myself together. I started educating myself. I started to look at things to work from where I got to there to here. And what was happening is I was an addict. I was making bad choices. I was using. I was smoking crack. I was doing drugs. I wasn't being a good father to my children. And I ended up with prison, 9 years, 8 months. My mom died in my arms. I left there, went on a rampage. 2 days later, my daughter came and visited me. She had just turned 12. She died after that. She had an aneurysm. She was brain dead. What happened was a hospital in Modesto wasn't equipped to help her when they had to get an MRI for her. So they had to transfer from Modesto all the way into Madera. And what happened was when she got there, she was brain dead. I got that fatal phone call when I was in prison. The sergeant called me to the office and actually did have a daughter after she had visited me. I said, yeah, I didn't know what was happening. I called, talked to the doctor, got the baby's mama on the phone, the mother of my child, told me that my daughter had an aneurysm. They was asking me about pulling the plug. At that time, I didn't know what to do. My heart started shaking, my hands started shaking. All I said, all I can do is support whatever you did. I started thinking about all the times I was taking care of my children. But was I really taking care of my children? Was I really making the right choices? No, I wasn't. But God had a plan for me. I'm not saying he had a plan for my daughter to die, but he had a plan for me to open my eyes to see what's happening, what has created, what choices I have made. See, my mom died in my arms, and then my daughter died. I also had a daughter beat to death at 14 months old. See, I had a lot of death from using drugs and making choices. But I stand before you, though, is a life lesson, you know, because I was a leader, right? But I started following, so now I'm a leader. So, you know, if you don't learn anything in this, anything is to stay in school, be a leader, and not a follower. Anything that comes to you, you should be able to understand it. It's all through education. See, because I don't want you to end up with the choices I made. You know, I had a promising career, track, football, but I made this choice and all this stuff happened. After I got out of prison and got myself right, I got 19 years clean and sober. You know what I mean? I started reconstructing my family. Okay, this is when I went to a program when I got out. I started reconstructing my family. I started staying and networking with different resources. That's how I met Danny. I met Danny on a bus stop in Watsonville. Didn't know he had dead some time, didn't know anything about him. That's how I met Danny. We started talking, and then voila, we was like friends like that because it was a common ground about what happens in our past. You know what I mean? Life shows up every day. It's on how you're going to choose it. Thank you. My name is Joe.
Thank you, Joe. We can keep going, right? Yes, cool. All right. One or two life lessons you learned from Joe right here. Okay, you get 2 shirts to both of them.
Okay, what side? Medium, large, small.
Make good choices. That one too, Mark.